There are plenty of superheroes in the DC universe who can lay claim to greatness. Some can run at the speed of light, some can command the world's oceans. And in the midst of these legendary figures, there's Jayans, the Martian Manhunter. He can go toe-to-toe with Superman, phase through solid matter, shapeshift into anything or anyone, read minds, and even turn invisible. So, with all that power, you'd think he's nearly unstoppable. It's not anything exotic, radioactive, or specially crafted by his deadliest enemies. But he isn't. There's one glaring flaw in the makeup of the Martian Manhunter, one thing that drags this powerhouse down to earth. The kind of fear that would force him to avoid burning buildings or steer clear of lava pits. But over time, the writers expanded it. What was once psychological became something deeper, baked into his very biology. In later comics, exposure to fire would cause Jayan not just anxiety, but actual physical harm, weakening him. Originally, the explanation was that it's a psychosomatic reaction, deep-seated. In more recent stories, Jayan's fire weakness is described as pyrophobia, and not just a mental block, but an inherent vulnerability. Some portray Jayan as instantly paralyzed by even a candle's flame. Others have him grit his teeth and wade through fire in moments of desperation, burning badly, but ultimately making it through. Wrestle a mountain, or outthink the world's greatest minds. Remember, all it takes is a spark to bring the Martian Manhunter to his knees. In the end, even the mightiest need something to keep them humble. For Jayan, it's fire simple, ever-present, and inescapable. But the rule remains. Fire is Martian Manhunter's undoing. Fire disrupts his abilities. For someone who wears the mask of humanity so well, it's a basic, almost primal weakness. Superman is brought low by an alien mineral. Green Lantern falters against the color yellow. But Martian Manhunter, flames, the same element that's both a symbol of hope and of destruction, can break his superhuman resolve. His healing factor stalls out. Shapeshifting becomes impossible. He can't turn invisible and bring enough of its a room engulfed in flames. He'll collapse, powerless. Cultural aversion born from trauma. See, on Mars, fire wasn't just dangerous, it was used as a weapon. In many versions of the Martian backstory, the extinction of Jayan's people came as a result of planetary firestorms, brought down by the thing that stirs most people's fight-or-flight response. Jayans, despite all his abilities, is still haunted by the memory of Lawson. His greatest fear is the one thing that can undo him, no matter how strong he becomes, or even through engineered flames that targeted the Martian race. For Jayan, fire isn't just burning wood or molten lava. It's the echo of planetary obliteration, draining his powers, sometimes rendering him completely helpless. No, Martian Manhunter's Achilles' heel is something as old as time itself. Fire. Let's roll back for a moment. Jayans is a Martian, a member of the Green Martian race. In his origin story, he was accidentally transported from Mars to Earth by a scientist's experiment. Kryptonite is Rayerit's basically interstellar debris, and fans, for years, have pointed this out. Why would the last survivor of a proud Martian civilization be undone by something as simple as a spark? But fire, that's everywhere, and there's no supervillain mastermind required. A basic match or campfire could, at least in theory, bring the Martian Manhunter to his knees. Separated from his own kind, he found himself forced to blend in, taking on the life and the role of a human detective. But those early comic appearances wasted no time establishing the thing he fears more than any villain: flames. At first it was just a fear. Still, you might ask, how does that stack up against, say, Superman's vulnerability to kryptonite? There's a key difference. For someone who can walk through walls and shrug off bullets, it's an oddly human weakness. The answer, at least within the comics, is layered. But the comics can't resist adding a little flair. Like many things in comics, the exact limits have shifted from writer to writer. Of course, there's a kind of narrative poetry to it. A hero defined by his empathy, by his longing to belong. So, next time you see him phase through walls,